today, so I guess I share straight away the slide. You can straight away go to the link and then jot down your attendance for your attendance. Okay, be honest and stop this sharing. Wait, I try to get my screen again. Sorry. Can you see the PowerPoint straight away, or because I'm sharing the? Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? I received a message that say cannot hear me, so I hope you can hear me. I just wait for a while. I tried to on the slide because I think I on the Explorer. Mustafa, can you hear me now, Mustafa? You mentioned that you cannot hear me just now. Okay, today's class we were going to start defining research problem in CS, which is computer science. Can you see the slides? Now, okay, thank you. So today's class we will continue on this topic, which is about your research problem. Okay, and I do understand a lot of students will have difficulties on this when they start to do their research, and they don't know how to define their research problem. Okay, this slide is going to be from Prof. Dr. Bahari Blatud as well. Okay, and first of all, before I go in detail about research problem in computer science, I would like to say that I already upload the link, okay, for those who are master students who don't have the supervisor. Okay, so that is that link will give you numbers of lecturers who posted what they interested to do and things like that. Okay, and I got inquiry of some students are mentioning if they want to do something else. Yes, you can always do something else, but please contact to the respective lecturer or supervisor and say what you have in your mind. Okay, normally for master student, what they have, the lecturer will already have in their mind, so easier for you to just continue. Maybe they already even have the data set, but everything you need to ask your supervisor. I cannot say all of them have the data set. They might say you need to go and find the data set and things like that. So is your discussion with your supervisor. Okay, that means you don't engage, you don't say this is your supervisor yet. Okay, so when you have at least one meeting, the supervisor agree to take you as their student, and then you have something this one discussion with him, and then you think that is your potential supervisor, you're going to work on that, then you say that is your potential supervisor. But don't change in the end of the semester and things like that. It's going to be very difficult. Okay, and for PhD student, of course, you don't need to submit. I heard get also some, because this is all some inquiries and some emails coming in. That's why I try to explain before I start the class. Okay, so because I saw some student asking about the PhD student whether they have to do research proposal based on this supervisor. No, you already assume that all the PhD student who registered in USM already have your own title. You already have your own what do you call what is that? You already have your own supervisor. So you don't need to choose from the link or the what do you call Padlet that I give you. Okay. So continue with your supervisor. What you do during this one semester, which is CCS 591, for those who are PhD students, you will get ready your research proposal, because ideally after you do CCS 591, you are ready to go for research what do you call proposal review. Hope you understand that. Okay, without you doing this CCS 591, you cannot do your proposal review. That is the prerequisite. You need to do this. Even though you sit in, you need to have this in your what do you call database, that showing that you already completed CCS 591. And then only you can go for proposal review. That one is your supervisor will set the date and then find the internal examiner and things like that. Okay, so that is for PhD student. For master student, be clear, you need to do your research proposal here as your part of your assignment, which is your assignment, the one I mentioned. You have 3 assignment. One is assignment 1, which is coming up next week. And then you have SLR, another assignment. And then last one is research proposal. Okay, research proposal normally is 3 chapters, chapter 1 until chapter 3. But your supervisor is the, sometimes they might say, no, I want until chapter 4. So depending on your supervisor. So basically, if you look, a lot of things comes from your supervisor. Supervisor is the main thing. And anyhow, it's your topic, your work, you're going to do something on that topic. Okay. So, but still you rely on the supervisor to make sure your boat reach to the island that you want to reach. Okay. I mean, if you want to get your master, make sure you follow your supervisor. At one point, yes, you will be the captain of the boat. Now your supervisor is the captain of the boat. Okay, I hope you understand. Any question before we start the class? Anything that mind you, anything that you make you very curiosity, make you feel scared and all that? Anything until now? So as I promised, I already have the link. Okay, but be patient. Some of the lecturers are not didn't post yet in the what do you call in the Padlet. They might post today, or I mentioned until today 6 o'clock, but some requested like Dr. Manmit, PM Dr. Manmit say she will post it maybe after tonight. So even Dr. Intan say will post it later by tonight or maybe tomorrow. So some of them take some time to do that. Okay, it's not about the topic, and I also get questions, why they take so long to put just the topic. No, it's not that long. Okay, because for them it's not only the topic, they want to engage a good topic so that they can really supervise you and make sure everything is there. Another thing, okay, some lecturer is very cautious. Okay, like me, I didn't take any student this semester because last semester students already 4. So this semester they are doing thesis with me. So 4 students will do thesis with me. So that's the reason. So I say no for this semester. Mean next semester will be I take again, something like that. It's depending on the lecturer that who do. Okay, but if you have any topic, I also do mine to what you call supervised. But depending, my area is now doing on a more on a crime data prediction. Okay, you will get to know about this topic when Umair present next week about SLR. Okay, so under that. Sir, what about Dr. Nasua? If Dr. Nasua didn't put yet, that means wait for a while, maybe she will put. If not, you can contact her directly if you really are keen to take Dr. Nasua. So don't worry, okay? Okay, thank you. So we continue now. I can off my video. Is that okay with you? Because okay, I off the video, but if anything, I on the video for you. Okay, in terms of research, what you call problem, if you look at most of the students, when they start to do proposal, they need to find the research problem itself, okay? And in computer science, there is 3 ways we are talking about here. One of them is logical thinking, another one, sorry, another one lateral thinking, another one computational thinking. This is in the term of theory-wise, okay? We will look in the term of how you're going to accomplish the research problem, how you're going to determine your research problem in a way of you do research proposal will be on the second part, okay? But as a theory, you need to understand this. If you look at logical thinking is a process which one use reasoning consistently to come to a conclusion. Problem or situation that involve logical thinking call for structure, for relationship between facts, and also gain for reasoning that makes sense. This is one of the way, okay, to do research to see how you're going to define the research problem. Another one is lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is solving problem through an indirect and creative approach, using reasoning that is not immediately obvious and involve ideas that may not obtainable by using only traditional step-by-step logic. Okay, this term was coined by 1967 by Edward. This one, all this, we are not don't have any exam to remember this, but the main idea is you have three things. Okay, logical thinking, lateral thinking. The one quite famous now, if you look Thailand or US or start few years back. Okay, Malaysia just started, I think, 3 or 2 years back in the schools. They are talking about this computational thinking. If you have kids in the school, you know that a lot of students in the school, in the primary school, they start to think how to solve mathematics in a computational way, how to solve anything. Even they've been approached to do algorithm, the approach to play around with, I think, one of the programming for kids, I don't know, Scratch, I guess, Scratch, yeah. So they teach all that. Okay, so computational thinking is a thought process involved in the formulating problems and their solutions so that the solutions are represented in a form that can be effectively carried out by an information processing agent. If you look in the term of here, it's not about only how you get the answer. It's more to the of how the thought process involved in the formulating problems. Okay, this is what normally happen in educational system now. Most of the paradigm or the educational paradigm goes to this way, how they talking about computational thinking. I don't know how about country in Nigeria or even in China, but most of the country are looking forward in this area. Okay, even the Europe, even the Australia, even in Thailand, now in Malaysia. Okay, so for research problem, if you look, the logical component of a computing, this one I think is a very famous. Okay, some error there because I changed from it. This one you can get in the PDF is right. Input plus process, you get the output. Input mainly the data you fed to your process, which is raw data of a process data. I guess this one you'll learn in the degree itself. Process is your algorithm or core engine or solution. Environment is the physical system and network. Okay, most of the time, if you look at PhD thesis or even the master thesis, normally we try to look at the algorithm, we try to look at the methodology part, we try to even to look on how to enhance, even to improvise, okay, and even to increase the accuracy or things like that. So mainly, if you talk about algorithm, there's a lot of algorithm out there, okay. And if you want to change, what you're going to change? So it's not easy as you think. Okay, so you need to be very careful with what, especially PhD student. Okay, for master student, sorry, I'm not too biased to master student, but the approach and the way of assessing for masters compared to PhD will be much more rough and tough compared to master. Okay, master still okay, but because you what you learn for mixed mode, you're going to be learn now, and then next semester you're going to do your dissertation, right? So it's only one semester. But for PhD, it's going to be 3 years. You mingle around, you play around, you try to even merit with the title that you have. So it's quite long process. So you will be really tested and challenged during your viva. Okay. So it's not I'm trying to scare you off. I try to preempt what is going to happen. So if you look garbage in, garbage out, what to handle in GIGIO at the input process or both. Okay, where to handle. If you look where it's supposed to handle, is it input, is it the process or the output? So basically, if you look in terms of research problem, most of the time we try to see in the even in the input step. Okay, sometimes we go up to the process. Typical issue or problem in the input is the data management or organization, such as efficient data structure, compact representation, such as compression, hashing. Some title they're talking about hashing, how they do their hashing, even the pragmatic ways or systematic ways of doing things. Okay, hierarchical. Okay, network graph, such as all these. If you look, even now we're talking about now, not now. It's already more than 5 years. a lot of new area in exploration in the big data, where is a lot of things is talking about how more in the term of data management itself, okay, in term of the research, okay, how you can improvise, how you can optimize. If you look in the data, Dr. Wong Lipe is doing optimization. Normally you do the database and things like that. Okay, so and then how you look in a lot of things. Okay, that is the concept of the data management and also organization. And data fusion is more to data enrichment and also enhancement, where you combine data and also features from the multiple domains feature selection. Okay, if you look even in the data fusion, there's also sometimes it's not only you're talking about. Okay, there's one point, there's a research on the data fusion in the term of let's say how even the data, when you people enter the data in the Google form, okay, let's say they want to search. So normally you see the concept of searching is just based on the text. Okay, let's say you put data, you search. Okay, that is normally that's how your search engine works. There's one point, the paradigm change, where you don't only search using the text, you also can search using the image, how it happened. So things like that. Okay, knowledge based or pyramid model, enriching or augmenting input data with the expert knowledge, or reusing or employing pyramid model. Okay, so you can also look in the term of research problem in the term of in the input, where even we try to look on the knowledge base, where even if you already have every single things, okay, for your system, okay, and the data is there, and how you're going to use them, how you're going to multiply or even modify anything that involved in that particular model. Okay, so you need to have this kind of idea where you can enhance in the knowledge base of pyramid models. Okay, normally we do this in a very small scale before we go for a big one. Okay, so now another part in the typical issue or problem in the input, where we talk about standardization also and also data benchmark, where there's a lot of lack of standard procedure, protocol, guidelines in the data format and also representation. Okay, even for PhD students, okay, if you find that okay, this data set, this is the ideal data set, this is a type of the data set that you should use for this kind of project, let's say any project. So you need to mention in your thesis, that is your contribution. Okay, it's not just you just simply say, okay, this data set is really good, and if you do in a term of divide by 5, or you have a 10 column and things like that, this features is good enough and things like that. You need to have some kind of proof to say this is how you deal with this data set and what is the protocol of doing that. So your protocol, your standard guideline is also a contribution. Okay, so I am talking more compared to just talk about the typical issue problem, the input. Okay, if you look in the area of a research that turn garbage in to garbage out, the process robust enough to handle good or bad input. Okay, majority of CS research is concentrated here. The area is almost beaten to death. What does that mean? Over here, a lot of research already been done. Okay, but CS always evolving. You don't worry. There's always a space for you to do something new. Okay, that's why I say it's not a rocket science. There's not, you cannot solve the whole world problem. What you're going to solve is just a small problem in the small area in your domain. And then you try to improve or try to give something to the body of knowledge. Okay, so well-known and well-established area of research, large number of methods, algorithm and protocols. Obviously in CS, there's a lot of numbers of methods, algorithm and also protocol. Is this good news or bad news? There is a pro and cons on this, okay? Because if you look, if the area is mature, that means you have a lot of resources for you to go and check and find. Okay, so but when the area is mature, it's very hard for you to do the contribution to the body of knowledge. Okay, but when the area is new, it's easy for you to do the contribution to the body of knowledge, but you need to be really, really open your eyes. You are going to be pioneer on that particular area. Okay, The focus is on the continuous improvement of the core or fundamental engine of the algorithm, major or minute contribution, and try to finding gap in those computational methods. Okay. Perhaps what is crucial needed here is indirect and creative approach, which is lateral thinking rather than fixing those gaps. Overhaul versus firefighting. Okay, if you look at what does that mean here, if you are going to look in your research problem, okay, let's say in your PhD, sorry, always use example of PhD student. Let's say in your PhD, if you have a topic that your research supposed to give, okay, how you going to do to find the research problem statement? So you need to go and look for thesis. You might go for thesis. You might go for the research, what you call journal papers. Okay, in the journal paper, they might have the sentences that related to the problem statement that not been solved by that particular author. So that's the area for you to look on, to look up on that particular area where you can explore further to deal with that. Okay, that's how you do. Okay. Research problem is nature. If you look at crucial task in your research endeavor, cause the rest, follow the path as it's set. Okay, iterative process to get it right, which is scope, practical objective, time limit. Example, you try to fine tune. Okay, for you as a novice researcher, involves training. Okay, obviously, if you look as a new researcher, especially those who are PhD students who are coming from even mixed mode, who are coming from no background of a pure research, will find difficulty to do research at the early stage. Okay, the reason why I say this, okay, because you might don't really understand the research process. Okay, if once you understand the research process, you know that what you are doing is right. But most of the time, when you don't know your research process, you think that what you're doing is the something not right. Okay, you always blur, you always be confused. Okay, if you look in involve for training, trial and error or exploration. Okay, not blindly through, though following certain specific rules. Okay, obviously you try to do a small project. Okay, before you try to do a big one. We call as a pilot study, and then only go for. Even if you do a system literature review, I will suggest the student to do a pilot systematic literature review, SLR. Pilot means you do just maybe you have 100 of the papers. Maybe you just take 5 or 10 of the papers, try to get the table, what information you want to get on every single paper based to answer your research question. It's very important. That's how you do. Okay, that one we will talk in more detail in SLR next week. Okay, SLR is systematic literature review. Requires planning, which is short-term and long-term goal. Obviously, your short-term might be your pilot result. Your long-term result may be your and after your 3 objectives. Maybe your short-term, maybe your first objective, second objective. You segregate them. You try to divide and conquer them. Okay, you don't go straight your all of the objective at one go. Obviously, cannot. Okay, you go one by one. So maybe the objective 1 will help to enhance the objective 2 of your input needed to objective 2 and then such. So it's depending on your how you're working on your what you call PhD thesis or even master thesis. Okay. Incremental progress are made while you were standing on the giant shoulder. Beware though you, this is the words for you. Okay. If you look for me, incremental is very important. Every single day, try to do a progress in your research. How, sir? It's impossible. Yes, it's impossible. What I mean is incremental means over here. I don't ask you to go and do one research experiment every single day. No, there's no way, right? Every single day, try to jot down a single sentence, a single sentences. Okay, means maybe there's a 10 to 15 word based from what you read. Imagine every single day you try to read a journal paper and then try to write in a just a piece of paper. Try to write what you read, what you understand. Don't read and just write the title and the abstract and things like that. You need to understand what you get from that particular paper, something like that. So when you try to do that, your one thing, you will have the habit of writing based on the what you read. Second thing, you will improvise the way of skill of writing. Skill of writing cannot happen in overnight. Okay, it's coming slowly. You need to improvise. Okay, don't worry if you've been rejected. Rejected is good. If you're rejected in Q1, go for Q2, Q3 like that. Okay, that's the reason why I asked Umair to come and present next semester. Actually, we targeted to attempt Q1 by fall because we said, okay, Umair, go and do. Umair is my student. Okay, I say go and do Q1 journal paper, try to attempt them. Okay, if fail, it's okay. At least we get the review for free. You understand? We get 3 reviewer. They will give you comment and then you improvise. Eventually, Umair, someone who really want to challenge himself. He say, no, sir, I want to really do. And he managed to publish in a 6 month. After 6 months, he tried to publish one IEEE, which is Q1 paper at that time. So straight away, it get published. And then once you got the taste of the publishing in Q1, after that, you don't want to look for Q2 already. You want to go for other Q1, Q1, Q1. So that's the how you work. So it's okay. If you get rejected, it's okay. Don't worry. The way Umair get rejected, if me, myself, I will say, no, enough. I'll try other journal. But the persistence, the consistency of him doing and try to attempt makes a success. So it's not easy. Okay? So that's the reason. Okay? There's a lot of paper he published after that. Okay? But SLR is the one he learned from us and then he pick it up from there and try to get. So now he can himself can present to you. Okay, element of research problem definition. If you look, there's a research problem definition. Okay, if you look when you do a research problem and you try to define them, first of all, you need to have the motivation why you try to look on this research problem. Okay, it might be self-interest. Okay, it might be you already very good in that area, maybe your skill and your technical strength. That could be your motivation. And then for problem formulation, if you look, you need to question you seek to address in your research. So what you want to find in that particular research, you try to get that questions. Okay, then only you try to map to the research objective. Your research question must be mapped to research objective, which is your specific aim you want to achieve. This normally lead to your hypothesis or proposed solution. Okay, if you look a lot of things over here, sometimes, yes, in your research, you might need to do a hypothesis type of research here, where you need to find that, and then you put H1, H2, all that. Okay, somehow some research don't involve anything about hypothesis. Okay, you go straight to your research objective. So in the concept of research scope, you try to declare what is in out of your research. Research due to time limit, and practical constraint, neither too broad or nor too focused. And then the end, you try to do your research contribution where you try to improve or repair or extend work done previously, usually incremental. The issue is the scope of the increment. Sorry, excuse me. If you look, most of the students, when we talk about research problem definition, they go straight to the point of the problem itself. What is the research problem? And they try to elaborate on that. No, this is some kind of a skeleton for you for your research problem definition. First, you start with the motivation. When you write, you are trying to allow the reader to understand your story of life. So don't confuse them by straight away to the point of problem definition, research problem definition. Slowly bring them, slowly ice breaking them why you love to do this particular topic, and then start to see what is the problem. I'm not fasting, but I don't know why am I so very bad. Okay, then slowly you try to do what is your research objective. Now, I always say this: research questions must be mapped to the research objective. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't know, in the first lecture or second lecture, I mentioned this. Don't put it too big ambitious, too ambitious in your research question or research objective. Okay, go slow. Discuss with your supervisor. Maybe your supervisor say, okay, this 3 is good enough. Stop. Okay, it's not to try to be play cheat. No, I try to play smart here. I want you to be smart in the term of when you promise something to deliver. Okay, when you overcommit, then you're going to be very, very careful because your 3 years might go to up to 5 years. You don't want to do that. Try to graduate on time. 3 years, maximum 4 years. That's all for PhD. Okay, because most of you coming with the fund from the government, from the father mother allocation or things like that or anything. I don't know. Okay, maybe your government and things like that. But if your government give 4 years, it's okay. Your government only give you 3 years. Make sure you go back after 3 years with the PhD. Okay. Characteristic of good research question. This is about research question. Real and justifiable issues of hypothetical, grounded in parallel research experience, which is goes to the body of knowledge and worth doing it. So you don't just do a research question just based on the try to get all. I see one research question is from the different university. The research question is actually try to get or try to get all the definition from the different books, and then that is one of his contribution. I say that is not your contribution. You try to summarize whatever the book says in your one chapter, okay, and you mention it as your definition and things that is how I don't know is a racial question. I don't want to disclose the university that I examined. Okay, and the student fail at the end. It's not because of me. The other supervisor, the supervisor itself not agree at the end. I don't know how it come to that extent. Okay, and because the contribution is not clear, and all of the panel, examiner 1, examiner 2, and also external examiner, all of us agree to give fail before the students come to the Viva. When it comes to the Viva, the student also cannot determine because what he tried to do is more to what you call textbook material. Okay, first research question was the same, second research question was the same. The contribution might be say the third one, but very, very little. So how can you give a PhD on that ground? No, there's no way. Okay, formulated with a full understanding of the appropriate analytical tool and supporting resources, practical data availability, standard tools, or even technique. Okay, you can also formulate it with a full understanding of the appropriate analytical tools or supporting resources. Okay, if you look somehow, there's a lot of technique that involve. Okay, if you talk about machine learning, okay, there's a lot of technique there for you. Okay, to use to solve in your what you call research. But beware, make sure what you choose, there's a concrete reason for it. If you just choose based on your instinct, based on the what you call your supervisor said, and you just simply take your machine learning without a concrete justification, you will get in trouble during your Viva. Because your supervisor, your external will ask this for sure. How you come with this technique? Why don't you, let's say you do with SVM, okay, support vector machine. Why don't you do linear-based regression? Why don't you do a radical based, something like that? So other technique. So they will easily ask you. Okay, you might have in your hand what the reason. It's good to have at least one line of the reason for it. Can make some potential original contribution to the current knowledge and also theory. So basically, if you look your research question over here, you already try to think about how you're going to contribute to the body of knowledge. So by doing that, you will automatically try to have your good research question. Okay, if you just try to satisfy your research question based on what you think that could be important for your research, it might not in line with the body of knowledge. I mean, try to contribute to the body of knowledge. So you might ask, sir, I'm still new. I don't know how how to improve into the body of knowledge and things like that. Obviously, everyone, even me, when I'm a research student, I also don't know about that. The main idea is you try to look for it and try to see how you're going to design your research question. And then bounce to your supervisor. Have your research question, try to tell your supervisor. And then the supervisor will bounce back with a constructive comment, I hope. Okay, if not, they give you first round, they might say a very harsh comment without a constructive comment. Okay, take it like this, see where you can improve. Bounce back again. Now is email, much more easier. Am I right? So rather than you meet them personally, now it's more to email. Okay, unless you set appointment to see in a WebEx with your supervisor. Okay, so please make sure you always have this point. Okay, so that when you do that, slowly you won't create research question. Let's say you have 3 research questions. You cannot create 3 research questions by tonight. You can create, but it's not going to be the final 3 research questions that you're going to present during your Viva. You understand what I mean? You will change, you will modify, you will improvise your research question. That's very important. So it's not one day job. Okay? Any question until now? Raji, any question, Raji? Yes, Raji, any question? Nobody? No questions? Any question? Some lecturer asking about the link. So if you have any question, you can ask. If not, we continue. Okay? Developing research problem. Sorry, yeah. Is there any participant outside of the class waiting? 23. Okay. Okay. Developing research problem. Welcoming to questioning professional in terms of examples, spectacle of the established views or methods. Okay. 2 key questions you need to answer. Okay. What is the broad problem to be investigated? What the specific initial activity to undertake and overcome to pursue? It's very important here. Okay. This one, every single researcher will do the same thing. Okay, first of all, they will see what is the in a macro view. Normally in economics, they will call as a macro view. Okay, you look in a macro, you look in a broad problem. What you're going to investigate. Okay, and then you try to see in order for you to investigate the major problem, how you want to start initial activity. Even some initial activity, you might start with copying or try to replicate what others already do in their papers and try to understand, oh, this is what, okay, this is the problem. And then slowly you build. That's how you try to build your knowledge on that. Okay? So it's not waste. Okay? It's nothing wrong. Okay? So that's why some students come to me, they say, sir, doing SLR takes a lot of time. It takes more than 6 months sometimes. Yes, some students take up to 6 months. And I ask them, okay, after 6 months, do you think that you really grab what is needed in that SLR? Or what you really know in what's happening in that area? Yes. Before you do SLR, what is this one? You blur, right? You don't know where you are heading to. Something like that. So that's the reason. Okay. So if you even you want to do SLR, you don't need to do SLR is a big project. Let's say 6 months. You want to do maybe just for this assignment. So you don't need to do the main SLR. You might do a small, we call as a pilot SLR. Pilot means a small activity. That is how you look. Okay. The specific initial activities are crucial as they help you to stay focused, provide strong motivating example toward achieving useful goal. I just give an example by doing SLR, okay? When you do a pilot, when you do the overall big one SLR, the full SLR, okay? But if you're doing your research, you cannot do the whole research straight away in a objective 1, objective 2, objective 3. Maybe if your objective 1 is small, then you can start, okay, you can start to do slowly in that particular objective. And then you try to build. The reason why, if you look, all these are very important, your initial activity, because one thing, they try to provide a strong motivating factor for you. Another thing, you try to look, okay, because every single student, especially PhD student, when they read, they don't do anything. They lost their focus. That's what they happen after 1 year, after 6 months. They don't know where they are heading to. They don't know what's the problem they are trying to solve. At that point, it's difficult. Okay, so we need to pull them back to the right island. If not, they will go to the island that nobody there. Okay, they subject you to explore more specific and interesting observation, which will lead to a general research question. Okay, they expose you to learning while doing, which is planning, reading, programming. Learning while doing also can be said in other words is like when you see some kind of not some kind, some of the journal papers, you might have a rough idea what they're doing, but just having read them, it's very difficult to get even a rough idea unless you really try to do what they do, what they did. It's not complete. Sometimes the research journal paper is not complete. You need to go and deeper to understand. So it's sometimes the student will complain, sir, we don't have enough time to do that. It's a very big project. Yes, it's true. But if you don't have a minimal understanding of what the people others are doing in the same area, what you're doing, how you going to do it for yourself? Okay, especially when you don't know whether you are doing right or wrong. Okay, that's the reason why we do learning by doing. And you see, this is an example of learning by doing strategy, where you're verifying a proof in a published paper and seeing whether it can be applied to variant of the theorem, thus beginning to explore the limit at which the theorem no longer applies. Okay, so you can check. Okay, you can even, not to say comment, criticize is okay. But Malaysian, we always shy. We don't criticize other people's work. Okay, in research, you need to know how to criticize in a polite way. Okay, if you don't know how to criticize other people's papers, that means you don't know how to protect yourself from others to criticize you. You understand? There's a very big agenda. Same goes to how you develop a web application. Okay, if you don't know how to make your web application in terms of security, first you need to know how to hack other people's web application. Then you know how to secure your web application. You understand? That's how the same goes here. Okay, something for you to ponder, something for you to think before your breakfasting later. Okay, confirming someone else's result by downloading code or by developing a fresh implementation. Okay, you can also download their code. Sometimes they don't give you the code straight away. You can email them, you can contact them to get the code and try to do. Even you say, I'm a PhD student from School of Computer Science, USM, when you write in, okay, they easily will give you immediately. Most of this one, when you are very genuine PhD student and things like that, okay, they want to check, they can easily check your background and things like that because you are student. Okay, working on a specific benchmark database, phase reconstruction, okay, reproducing the database result, identifying its limitation, 100 phases representation power, okay, it's limited, proposing a new approach to improve the RP of the database. So basically, if you look, a lot of things can be done. So slowly you need to make sure you check on your research area. Okay, what I'm talking here, it might be very general. Okay, because each and every single of you might have your own idea of doing things. Okay, maybe some students say they might go for what you call cryptocurrency, cryptography. Is it? Someone emailed me and then they asked, sir, there's nobody in that particular link is about cryptography. Actually, they have one lecturer before this is Prof. Azman. Prof. Azman is already in what you call I think he's already take the retirement. Okay. So now we left with Dr. Tay Jason. I think he's coming back from France after his postdoc. So, but I guess he will take students as well. You might just contact him directly if you're doing cryptocurrency. That is not cryptocurrency, cryptography. Okay. So it's depending on you. Okay. So I will say go with your interest. It's very important. There's no point to look at their other people's titles and research, and then because it's easy and you want to do with them, because they are very good, they are nice looking lady. Okay, you think that they will be very kind, so you go with them. No, you need to find a appropriate thing, appropriate title, appropriate area at least. Okay, if you don't have, then you go. It's okay. This activity provide a deep understanding of the method, prompt for more interesting question, and provide opportunity for incremental progression. This is how you do your progress in your studies as well. So this is how we call learning by doing. Okay, so you learn, but you need to do. If you don't do, you don't learn anything there. You might think that you understand, but actually you don't understand how the process going on. Okay, so a research project, if you look, this is a code for the research problem. A research project that ignores the centrality of the clearly defined problem is not likely to get off the ground. It is more likely to become an exercise in collecting data unsynthesized and uninterrogated, which may not be designed to solve any problem and would be unlikely to provide anything that a superficial description of the issue. So what does that mean here? If you don't really look clearly what is defined a research problem, what you're going to do, and very clearly that's early stage, it won't go far. Okay, it might just collecting data, do a normal survey, do a certain understanding from the survey results and things like that. After that, you won't go far from that particular research. So that's the thing that they try to explain. Any question until now? Any question until now? Please ask. We still have 13 minutes for you before we have a break. Any questions? Any questions? Can you see my this is the new one, SEM1. I have actually two Padlet. I don't know which one is supposed. I guess this one, yeah. Okay, can you see the Padlet? So it's very clear what they did for you. So for those who are in masters, please, you can look and go through what you want to do. Lecturers, they are very ambitious. Dr. Fararuto is the one going to teach you later on in the second part. She's doing more now in the healthcare. She have a lot of grant, so you might have. This is, I don't want to be this one, then I be biased to certain lecturers. Any question until now? Do you have any external repository for external link? What do you mean? I don't understand. Can you speak out? What does that mean? What is that? Maina Umar, is it? What's the name? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Who's this?
This is Maina, sir.
Yeah, Maina, what is the question?
Yeah, I was asking, like, if you have any website that has some kind of a list of topics that someone can just go through.
No. It's not about topic. You mean you're a master student, is it?
Yes, sir.
So you don't need. This is not the topic that list of topic. This is a fresh topic that proposed by the supervisor. There's no point for me to give you a link of repository of topics. You see, this is based on the supervisor who proposed. Okay, there is a description on this. If you are interested, you can join. Something like that. Okay, so you can do in that topic in that area, and you need to contact the supervisor to get the confirmation. What's the point of when I give you the link of the titles and you don't get any supervisors? Am I right? Yeah, Maina, do I answer your question?
Yes. Yes, sir. It's just that when you said someone still has the like someone can still make up his own topic. So
Oh, if you want to make up your own topic, you look at this area. Okay, let's say you are talking that one. You need to not the repository of the title. What you can do is you can check on the thesis online. Okay, you can go to even there's a lot of thesis online for computer science. Let's say Australian University. Okay, you can check on that. Okay, certain university they allow you to even download the full thesis. That one you can do. Don't worry, man. You can check. I don't have the list, but you can easily Google it. And if there's, I think I share, even Dr. Fadotu share. There's one thing from the previously, I think in the group I share. Uh, the one of the doctor, I think she's a Pakistani or Iranian, I don't know. She in a research methodology part, where she have a very good illustration in the Facebook. So these kind of things I normally I posted in the whatever good information that I get. It's not a good morning wishes I put. I always send you good information that I found, and I share with you in the CCS 591 group, WhatsApp group. So it's very important for you to be there in the WhatsApp group. Okay, I hope it helps. How many of you joined the what do you call join the journal club today? Do you join the journal club today? Maina Umar, do
no,
you
no, I missed it, sir.
journal club today?
I missed it, sir. No,
You
no, I
missed it.
missed it.
Yeah,
Yes.
supposed to join because it's a very good. Okay, someone asked questions. Yes, I check on the last question. I take this question. Okay, wait. Is it necessary to have published scientific papers on the topic we will choose? Who's this? Aimia Sabia. What do you mean? What do you mean? Which this one? Published scientific papers? Sabia, is it your name? Amia. Imaya. Imaya.
Yes, doctor. Please,
Yes,
doctor.
sorry. How to pronounce your name first? Sorry.
When I choose the topic
No, your
in the
name. Your
budget,
name is.
it's is it necessary to have publish
No, your name,
scientific
please.
paper?
What's your name, please? Sorry. Hello. What's your name first?
My name is Damia Sabih.
Jamia Sabia. Okay, Jamia Sabia. Sorry, because I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's the reason. Okay, what's the question?
Paper publish scientific paper.
Okay.
When I will choose the topic research in the Padlet, is it necessary to provide publish scientific paper on the topic will be choose?
I don't understand your question. You mean you want to have published a scientific paper on the topic that you choose?
No, when I search in the topic
No,
research,
this topic is a new topic. It might be very new. It might be a topic that already people do some research, but that lecturer might have a certain area or certain things that new for you to explore. Okay. If you want to find any published scientific papers, you might say something similar to get your understanding. Yes, of course, you can have them. You can look on published scientific paper, which is from maybe IEEE, maybe from any journal, Web of Science and things like that. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So once you already do your research, then only you publish in the scientific paper. Okay?
Okay.
So I guess that's the last question that I take. Then we will take continue again the next section, which is we'll start now. Happy I think fasting. You're supposed to selamat berbuka puasa, we say in Malay. Okay, thank you. See you later. Bye bye. Continue our class lecture now. Any other question beside the last week upload the video one? So we will continue with the lecture now with the same thing, but not much anyway. It's about what you call recall and try to get a better understanding of your problem statement. Okay, writing your problem statement. Okay, if you look at the research problem, as we mentioned, can you hear me? Yeah? Can you hear me? Participant only 20. That means three missing from the previous lecture. Okay, let's see the attendance later. Okay, if you look research problem as recall the first session earlier, okay, research problem may be defined as an area of a concern, a gap in the existing knowledge that need to be filled, or deviation in the norm or standard that points to the need for further understanding and investigation. Okay, this is a very detailed one. If you look a research problem, if you talk in a layman language, okay, we try to find what is the thing that you can solve or area that arise for you to solve in terms of any problem that is not been unsolved in that particular research. Okay, that is what you call as a research problem, where you try to get that and then you try to digest and try to what you call further investigate to fulfill and to contribute to the body of knowledge. Okay. So if you look, this is exactly the same one, but it's just a recall based on the previous lecture. Okay, I tried to get it again. Okay, the characteristic of a good research problem is should address a gap in knowledge. It should be significant enough to contribute to the existing body of research. It should lead to further research. Okay, it's very important. Okay, the problem should render itself to investigation through collection of data. It should be of interest to the researcher and suit his or her skills, time, and resources. So that's the reason why it's very important if you're doing for master, what's supposed to be your, sorry, supposed to be your, what do you call, timeline that you already have. So how much you can spend your time, okay? The approach towards solving the problem should be ethical, okay? So in terms of problem statement, it transforms a generalized problem into a targeted one. Okay, it is well-defined problem, one that can be resolved through focused research and careful decision-making. Yes, it's true. You got a problem statement. It might be very general. You try to, from the general one, you try to make it a targeted one, means you try to focus on what you want to solve based on your research question and also your research objective that you're going to map. Okay, you can start with one sentence followed by a few paragraphs to elaborate on the problem. It's true, okay? You can start from the, what you call, problem statement and then start to elaborate what is more and more about the problem that exists. Okay, the paragraph will consist of justification to show the importance and relevance of the problem statement. A good problem statement establishes the foundation for everything that will be covered in the research proposal or thesis. Nothing mentioned later in the proposal should come from nowhere. All must have been addressed in the problem statement. As I mentioned earlier, if you look, the problem statement is not only the one sentence of your problem statement. It's supposed to be something motivate you, start from how it motivates to you for that area. And from there, you try to digest, or try to, what you call, elaborate what is all about in your problem in that particular research. And if you look, this is a more on a term of how to write a positive way of problem statement. Describe what you call desired goal, ideal situation. Explain how things should be. Okay. Describe a condition that prevent the goal, state, or value in part A from being achieved or realized at the time. Explain how the current situation falls short of the goal or ideal. Consequence, which is part C, identify the way you propose to improve the current situation and to move it closer to the goal or ideal, and state the purpose, objective of the scope of work. This is if we look in a term of problem statement, okay? And a lot of style of doing this, okay, in a problem statement. And a lot of students has the difficulties when they come to the this one, when they try to present in the research proposal, they couldn't define the problem statement clearly. It needs to be very clear what is the actual problem. And then from there, you try to elaborate, try to explain in detail how it is all about your problem statement. Okay. Where does the problem statements comes from? As I mentioned before, it could be literature review, study of previous research and past experiment. Okay. Normally, if you look, most of the time we get it from the literature review. What is the problem statement all about? Because we find, okay, this is the research, then that research, this is what still not been explored. So you try to do so. Personal experience and also interest, this is very rare, depending on the some lecturers, or maybe they already have certain project, they have certain research problem that they want to solve based on their own personal experience and also interest. They might call for research. Okay, it could be done as well. Okay. Any question? So this is an example of the statement that given. Statement 1, the Ministry of Youth is dedicated to allocating enterprise development fund to both the youth and women. These funds are made available in order to start entrepreneurial ventures that create and expand employment, provide relevant statistics and code. Okay, if you look at this statement, it's very general. Okay, even though general, it tries to show that it gives what you call some kind of fund is there, and also to create and expand the employment. Okay, this fund is for the expansion. So basically, this is not as what for computer science. Okay, you might can see the one for the computer science base. So one of the main focus of the ministry is consistency. Unfortunately, consistency in allocating fund to the next generation of recipient require prior knowledge of previous allocation. This is try to elaborate further. Okay. So what is actual problem in that? Okay, and then goes to statement 3, continuing with the current disciplinary method prevents consistency and cause decision to become grossly political. Okay, basically this is about a topic about how the fund, and then who's the fund is going to get, and it's a government fund, what happened. Okay, so this proposed research expired to explore option for new fund disbursement system that will focus on consistency. To do this, the researcher will carry out a full stakeholder analysis and use it to propose appropriate policy intervention. Okay, if you look in this kind of example, you try to elaborate first what is the problem, the situation all about, okay? And then at the end, you try to propose what can be done to really solve this problem, okay? And actually there's a 2 document that I give in a Word document, okay? Hold on, sorry, I stopped sharing this. I don't know why I'm out, sorry. Do you have the Word file with you, the from the ELAN? I think I upload in the ELAN. Let me check the ELAN. I didn't have in my desktop now. Sorry, hold on. Okay, this is the one I share with you in the what do you call e-learn example. Another example, okay, based on the what do you call concept which is not similar to computer science, something related to you, okay. And if you look, it's quite very general. It goes by paragraph by paragraph. Can you see where's the problem statement be clearly identified? Because there's a lot of problem here, okay. And then over here, if you see, this is due to the fact that compared to the other algorithm, okay, flower pollination algorithm achieve highly comparable result, as well as its suitability to solve various real world problems. Okay, maybe this what you call example is not that suitable for you. My main idea, when you explain your problem statement, I would say it could be maybe 2 to 3 pages. That's all. Don't go further than that. Okay, and you try to elaborate them. There's a lot of thesis out there. Okay, even in the school of computer design, you can see how they explain their problem statement. As I mentioned, there's a one slide that I mentioned. You need to have motivation when you talk about if the title is from a particular. What is that? Some question coming in. Wait, answer the question first. If the title is from a Padlet, why Tetrit? What do you mean? A lot of question. Can you talk to me?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes. You
Good,
asked. Yes. Yes, Raji.
good evening, sir.
Yes. Good
My
evening.
question goes like this: what are the techniques in practice that can be employed to identify a research gap in a particular area? What type of literature can one search for on the web from thousands of papers to obtain this?
Okay. For the first question that you mentioned here, is a very good question. What are the techniques in practice that can be employed to identify a research gap in a particular area? Okay, if you look, there's a lot of technique, obviously, but your literature will help you to see what is the technique. Okay, and the technique that you want to see is to browse and to look around for your all this from the search engine, WOS, journal papers. Okay, you try to look, okay, what is the research gap in that particular area. Okay, you don't need to see a huge one. Okay, just go and glance. Okay, let's say you take 5 or even less than, let's say 10 literature paper which is in the same area, same topic. Okay, don't go very, because same area means software engineering is very big. It's area, same area. Under the software engineering, there is a software, what do you call, metrics. That's another deeper in. Okay, under the software metric, you go another deeper in about web application cost estimate. That is what my area all about. So you need to really check on that particular topic itself. Okay, area means you don't go and find, okay, network. In the network, all you try to find what's the research gap, you cannot find. It's very difficult. It's very broad. You understand, Raji? Raji? Hello? So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for the first question, if you look, you cannot see in a particular area. You need to go really in that particular specific area, which you mean you might be wrong if you go area itself. You need to go to the title that you're looking for. Let's say you are talking about cryptography of that particular network system or something like that. So you just look on that particular area. Maybe you're talking about data hiding. So look on that area, data hiding, and then see what is the research problem or research gap. And then what type of the ones can search from the web? Obviously, I don't say from the web. What I say is from the Web of Science, from the journal, which is all index one. Okay, those who are accreditable. If you just look from a Wikipedia, that is not the type of literature that you're supposed to get or the information you're supposed to get. The literature means over here, the literature that you look on the what you call, let's say, Google Scholar itself. But obviously, when you go to Google Scholar, there's a thousands of that particular area. But when you do some refining, some tuning on your title that you looking for, it might be not even 30, even 20, or even 40, right? The paper that really about, that's how you try to refine. First, you look at the title. Second, you look at the abstract. Okay, so when you read furthermore abstract, yes, this is relevant. Okay, you can keep to yourself. This is not relevant, throw away. When you go deeper again, you look on the after the abstract, you read some of the paper is not related to you, so you can throw away those. That's how you try to do refining, or we try to say, we try to what do you call, we do a bottleneck. Okay, normally this one we will learn in the SLR how to do so. You try to reduce, for, even when you do in a normal search, it might happen 1,400, 1,500. When you go down 1,500 papers, okay, when you go down, you might go 700, then you screw again. You try to do based on the quality of the paper, and you get up to 50 or 30. So that's how you do that. Okay, you don't look all of that 1,000 papers. Okay, any other question?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, Raji.
After one might have gone through all these things, going to the database, whether it's Web of Science, Scopus, and so on and so forth, there are different document types there. We have the journal article, the survey paper, the conference paper, the review paper, the systematic literature review. Which of these document type in practice that can help one to identify this gap?
All this paper is a material for you to check. You cannot say you can get research gap in literature review. You cannot say you can get research gap in the journal paper. You might be lucky you get in journal paper, but you need to go through all of them based on the paper itself. Okay, if you look in a research topic, okay, that you are looking for, okay, let's say what topic you're doing, Raji?
I'm on cryptography.
Okay, you're doing cryptography, okay? When you
Yes, sir.
Cryptography, when you put cryptography itself, that is not going to give you the right answer, because cryptography is a lot, right? So what you are doing in the cryptography, you need to check what you are looking at cryptography, in the area of cryptography, what you are doing. Anybody else doing cryptography? Any other student doing cryptography? So let's say you're talking about encryption 236. I don't know. I'm not from the area of what you call network or cryptography. Is there anything about encryption 236? I read one title about encryption 236 or something like that. Data hiding. Am I right, Raji?
Yes, sir. There is something like that.
Okay. Let's say you're talking about encryption 223. I don't know whether it's right or not. I just pick it up. Okay. Let's say it's about encryption 236. Then under the cryptography, you need to find the keyword here is encryption 236. Why you want to look on all the what you call cryptography? If you're going to look all on the cryptography, it will take maybe 20, 30 years for you to finish your PhD. You got it? If you want to find your topic, means here is depend on what topic you need to bottleneck. I mean, you try to slow and try to get what is the gist that you want to do in that particular area. So let's say cryptography. You cannot stick with cryptography. You need to say, okay, under the cryptography, I'm going to look on the data encryption or data hiding. And then under the data hiding, what's the problem is exists? What's the technique is there? And out of this technique, which technique are so popular? And maybe out of this technique, certain technique are really showing certain advantage, disadvantage. So you look deeper and deeper, and you find certain things is not been solved. It's been addressed by the, I mean, not addressed, it's been pointed out by the researcher itself. So from there, you can pick point there that this is the research gap that you want to solve. And from there, you try to do your research. I hope I answered your question, Raji.
Yes, sir.
I hope I answered your question.
You answer it, but it is just that it's not easy. It's not easy to do this thing.
Yes, Raji, I do understand.
If there's any technology, maybe tools that one can employ, software tools.
Then you need to come out with Raji. Okay, the next question, okay. How long does it take to choose a research topic? That's another good question. How can I answer this question? How long does it take to choose a research topic? Tajrid, Tajrid, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine,
Sir,
thank you.
I want to ask, yes, I have one questions about when I choose a title from Padlet. How much or how many take from me? How
Title
many?
from where?
From Padlet, sir.
Title from the Padlet, and then?
Yes, yes. I want how many take from me? How many days take me when I want choose this
Okay,
topic?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the whole research. Is it from the Padlet? Okay. Or you
Yes.
the second line, okay. So if
Okay.
it's the title from the Padlet, what you can do, this is if I'm your in your shoes, okay. So what I would do,
Yeah.
first of all, I see the title. Is it interested to me? I mean, do I feel a kind of love on the title or not? If not, I go on and look for other title. Okay, first thing. Second thing, check on the description. Some of them even ask even what programming language that you're supposed to have. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
are you familiar with
Yes.
Python? Are you familiar with this? So that will consist of learning curve. Are you ready to go for that learning curve and all that? So you need to check on that. Second thing. Okay. So the title and the description is important for you to understand the topic is
Yes. Yes. Yes.
how you have some kind of interest or not. Second point that I choose, I will see who are the supervisor. It's very important as well because you need to find the supervisor who are really can work with you. It's not that you going to. I say in this way. I say who can work together with you for your success. You understand?
Yes, I understand you. Yes, yes, sir.
Obviously,
Thank you.
with the COVID and now with this situation, it's not easy because I know you are now not going to see them face to face. What you're going to see is more to Webex, maybe by email. So first communication you might do once you already like the title, email them and ask them, as you mentioned just now.
Okay.
How are you, sir? Yes, a very good.
Yes, thank you.
Start with them.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I'm a student.
Okay.
I'm from here, from Iraq. I'm doing this CCS 591, and I'm interested in this title. Can you explain me? But can I be your student or something like that? Or you can straight away ask if you are already okay. You can ask, or you already go and browse some of the papers of that particular title, right? And then email together the paper shows your interest. Okay, the lecturer will be more convenient, will be more favorable to you if you show the interest that you have some kind of interest or love on that particular topic. Am I right? So the first love is very important. So when you go and look at the supervisor, you need to make sure the supervisor has a positive mind that, oh, this student has an interest on this topic and is a good student who are willing to work on this topic. First impression is very important. Okay, if you go empty-handed and say, sir, is this topic is good topic or not good topic? The topic already been advertised. If you ask this kind of question, obviously that will reject you for a first place. Am I right? So you need to check that. Is that good? I answer you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So if you ask how many days, there's no certain restriction on that. But by week 5, you're supposed to have your supervisor and title. Now we are week 3, right? Another 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So
Sir.
I think I answer your question all, right?
Yes, sir. No. This is enough, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Where are you from?
Thank you. From Iraq, sir.
Iraq.
From
okay.
Iraq.
Everything okay in your country?
Yes, Iraq. Yes.
Everything okay in your country?
From Iraq.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Iraq,
How's
sir.
your country? How's the people? Everything okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Good.
Now,
Okay.
now, okay. Now.
Okay, take care, take care. Have a nice
Thank,
day.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Any other questions? It's good to have question. If you don't have question, we are going to end every day is early because this is a PhD class. What we're going to cover in the slides and the lecture is a very minimal. What we supposed to have more to question and answer and discussion. I would like to hear some question from students from China, Beijing. Please, student from China, any questions? Students from Malaysia? Any question that you want to ask? So I hope for master student, you start to browse through, okay? Even today, even now, there's now also some new changes. If you still don't find your supervisor yet, keep on looking on that Padlet. If not, keep on looking on all the academician in School of Computer Science, okay? And then find the topic that you are interested, okay? You can browse through in the School of Computer Science website and check, okay, what can be interest you. I mean, you can be more the topic can motivate you, or you have that some kind of interest on that particular topic, okay? But first of all, you need to make sure that lecturer is available as well. Some lecturer might go for sabbatical, some lecturer might be in a maternity leave, a lot of things, okay? So some lecturer might be don't take any supervision for that particular year because they are in the what you call higher university levels, what you call admin post or something like that. So depending. So it's better for you to discuss and email them. Just freely email them. Just that 2 days ago, some email is not, when you send an email from a student, email is not reaching to the lecturers last 2 days, okay? So if you don't, if you get that problem, you might try again today again or something like that. One email, you can use your student USM email. Second email, if not reaching, no response, you can use even personal email. Okay, contact them. If you can contact them and no reply at all, you might CC to me, then I try to contact them. Okay, so when you CC to me, automatically I will interfere and also try to get response for you. Any other questions? Any other questions? Until now, I don't give you any assignment. Okay, assignment 1 will come next week. Okay, after that, you will be busy with assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3 from my side. Okay, those who are masters, a lot of students, master students, you need to, what you call, come to all the class and also make sure you have the attendance. Okay, any question until now? We have 22 students, but wait, everybody already completed. Okay, good. There are 3 students is absent. There are some students didn't fill up, is it? You how run? Are you here? You how run? You how run is not here. You how run? No, no, no. Maina Umar, why you are here but you don't put yes? Maina, are you here? First half, Maina is here. Second half, Maina Umar. Maina Umar is yes on the second half as well, but attendance wise, you didn't enter, so I enter for you. Anis Shazana. Anis Shazana. Meanwhile,
Yes,
you can
Dr.
take.
Doctor.
Yes, Anis
I'm
Shazana.
here, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
Anis
sorry,
Shazana.
I'm late today because I have an accident this
Oh,
evening. So I forgot I have a class.
are you okay?
I'm okay. The motorcycle crashed my side mirror, just side mirror. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry, sorry.
Don't worry, I already put up the attendance for you both. Okay, Li Chen Yao. Li Chen Yao. Malaysian, I guess. For me, as long as you attend or attend, as long as you can go through this video and make sure you understand, it's okay. Okay. So for me, this is more to adult learning. It's not something to be forced. So as long as you know you need to be here, you need to be here. If you have any other emergency, I don't mind. Don't worry. Whatever I give you, I halalkan in the Malay style. Okay, we say we go with a very straightforward and honest. That's all. Any question until now? If you don't have any question, I'm going to end the session today as well. Again, we are 1 hour early. Okay, for next class, I'm going to give you, sorry, I deleted, oops, I deleted one. Okay. I deleted that, didn't see. Okay. So if there's no question, then we end the session today. I will upload today's class immediately by tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you. See you again. Bye-bye.